What is up, YouTube? My name is Lewis. Welcome back to another video where we play Minecraft and talk about life. If you watched the first one, I want to say thank you for watching. Whoever liked, comment, thank you guys. So in the first video, I didn't show this, but I had died and lost everything. So I went ahead and made my first house. Got a few things. We're going to be mining and hunting today, looking for some food. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about living in silence and why that's important, to dedicate more time to being in silence. So in today's day and age, we deal with social media technology. We have a lot of distractions that come up in our daily lives. And a lot of it is literally just our phone. A lot of it is on our phone. Our phone has become, I would say, an extension of ourselves. Go up to anybody, they're going to have their phone on them. And so I feel like in our daily lives, we have so many distractions, and it's so easy to get caught up in a lot of stresses and anxieties that we have as people. And I feel like a lot of the time we go through things that give us these anxieties and stress. Maybe it's work, maybe it's family, friends, any relationships you might be having. I feel like a lot of the times we have problems that we need to, let's say, like process or get through. I feel like the distractions that we have in today's world really hold us back from managing these emotions. Me personally, not so much now, but it would happen a lot. Whenever I would go to bed, my mind would start racing with thoughts. Maybe whatever went on through the day, or just something random from years ago. And what I started doing to combat that is not only journaling, which helps a lot, but maybe we'll do another video for that. But just trying to find time in the day to be quiet, to not have these distractions. A great example of this is taking a shower. You guys know, like, shower thoughts. Like, once you take a shower, you have like the best ideas ever and all of this stuff. And a lot of it is due to the fact that we don't have any distractions in the shower, unless you're on your phone and doing whatever in the shower, which, okay, a lot of people do have their phones in the shower and they listen to music and stuff like that, but taking a shower is a great time to kind of have a little disconnect away from those things. And I don't know too much about the science of it, but also being in the shower, having the water running down on you, those physical aspects also help bring in a calmer sense of mind. But just finding other times throughout the day, for example, when you're in your car driving to work, maybe don't listen to music. Maybe just sit there in silence and just drive to work, and whatever thoughts come to your head, come to your head. Or in the morning, I feel like a lot of us, as soon as we get out of bed, we're on our phones. How about instead just, well, that's a far drop, stay off technology in the beginning of the morning and just sit and enjoy your breakfast in silence and not have these distractions take away from your brain space to think. Because that's another thing. If you're constantly listening to music, watching TikTok, Instagram, you're not giving your mind space to think, space to process emotions and these things. Which is why I feel like a lot of people deal with anxiety and stress, because they don't allow themselves to purge those feelings, to process them in a way that they have a certain amount of control, or they can deal with these emotions better. And you don't have to journal. journaling is great, like writing down your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions. You can do that, which is a great way to release those things. But like I said, just having that quiet time. If you're in the shower or you're driving to work without music and you just let your brain think for itself, you just sit in silence, thoughts are going to come up. Maybe a new thought about a situation you're dealing with right now where you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. Now I look at the situation differently and maybe I feel better about the situation, or whatever the case may be, I gain more clarity from it. So, yeah, I think in our day-to-day lives, we need to focus. I'm gonna die. I need to get home. In our day-to-day lives, I think we need to focus on having those quiet times. And it's nothing crazy. You don't have to dedicate 20 minutes in the morning, and 20 minutes isn't even that much, but when we do things, we start small, we start easy. But just any time throughout the day where you can give, where you know you can give yourself that quiet time, where you know that you don't need your phone with you, you don't need to be listening to music, or you don't need to be on technology. So I already spoke about taking a shower and driving to work, but also cooking, cleaning, like doing chores, which I understand that those are times where it's like perfect time to listen to music, right? Like doing chores. But also just try it. Just try doing it without listening to music, without listening to podcasts or anything, and see the thoughts that come up in your mind. Not only, I know I spoke about like regulating emotions and stuff. I'm gonna die right here. There's a creeper. I'm gonna die. Oh my god. Okay, I thought there was a creeper. Oh, there's two. Where was I? Yeah, not only for emotional regulation, but also giving your brain the space that it needs to think about things and to just process things. Also give space for creativity and creative ideas. And I think creativity is something we all have as human beings. And when our brain is constantly distracted and constantly being fed content or whatever it is, it's constantly being stimulated, there's no space for it to come up with creative ideas. That's why a lot of our good ideas come from being in the shower, things like that, because we're not giving our brain, our mind, the space to think about these things. And there's really nothing that you have to do. There's nothing that really you have to do. Like, you don't have to sit there and... I'm gonna die. Sorry, guys. Damn. I gotta find my way back home now. But anyways, there's nothing you have to do, like, aside from giving your brain the space that it needs, the quiet time. You don't have to sit there and think about your anxieties, about your stresses, about anything in particular. Give yourself that quiet time, and just see what your mind comes up with. See what thoughts come to your mind. Regardless, good, bad, or indifferent, there's going to be something that comes to your mind, and it might be something that you haven't thought about in a while, or something you've never thought about. And it's just things that have been sitting in your subconscious that have been waiting to come out. But due to the distractions that you're giving yourself, the things that you're constantly feeding your brain, it doesn't have the space. It doesn't have the space to produce those ideas or to bring them out to you. So just think about that. Think about your day, and really when do you have that quiet time? And this is something like about like self-care, about mental health. It's really taking care of yourself. Because when your mind doesn't feel free, when it like when you don't have the space to go through certain emotions or anything, life is just going to be a lot harder for you, because everything that happens to you, it's just going to be a whole nother ordeal, and you're not going to be able to deal with it in a manner that brings you back to a level of calmness and peacefulness in a reasonable time. So if you're having problems with anxiety and stress and these things, ask yourself, what am I doing to focus on these things? Like, am I spending time to journal? Am I giving myself quiet time for these emotions to come up naturally? And they will. But you need to ask yourself, am I doing that for myself? And if you're not, I think you should start. Wake up in the morning, go for a walk. Or just wake up in the morning, take a shower, no music. Or before bed, 20 minutes before bed, you just sit there in silence and let whatever thoughts come to mind. I think living more in silence and giving ourselves the space to think really benefits us. Not only, like I said, in creative ways, coming up with new ideas, but in regulating emotions too, because there's probably things that you haven't even processed that you maybe have pushed down, that you thought you got over, but maybe you didn't. Who knows what's lying in your subconscious, right? But those things will come forward when they want to. I don't think we can necessarily control that, but we can definitely give ourselves the space for those things to happen. So yeah, guys, to wrap it up, really ask yourself if you're giving yourself enough space for things to come up in your mind from the subconscious, like things that you're dealing with, or creative ideas, or whatever it is, or even just while you're going throughout your day. I feel like a lot of times we're on autopilot too throughout our day, and we're not aware of the things that we're doing. So when you're driving to work, or you're at home and you're on your computer, or you're doing whatever, be aware of what you're doing. When you're making breakfast, when you're taking a shower, are you distracting yourself? Are you also feeding your mind something? Like, for example, listening to music. Even if it's in the background, like, it's still something that's stimulating your brain. So just be aware of those things. Find spaces in your day where you can have that quiet time, and just try it out and see what it does for you. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, appreciate you as always. Next video, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. I don't know what we're gonna do in Minecraft. I do need to go mining. I'll wait for the next video, but thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, comment if you want to, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.